Hi, my name is Kathy Kolb. I'm president of Kolb Net Works, and this is a video podcast about internet business stuff. Today I want to talk about what costs go into the development and maintaining of a website. It's a very common question we get asked, and so that's why we're addressing it here. There's four main costs. There's a couple of optional costs then we'll talk about, but four main costs. Four. And yes, I am in my car driving, and yes, I'm keeping my eyes on the road mostly. Hey, okay, so the four things. You're going to have your domain name, your www.whatever.com or .org or .net. You're going to have website hosting, which is, that's a monthly cost. The domain name cost is by the year, or we recommend that people sign up for 5 years at a time. More on that. The third cost then is the actual website development, which is the largest cost, and it's usually a one-time cost. And then fourth is upkeep, maintenance of the site. So those are your four main costs. There are some extra costs that can come in: internet marketing, internet advertising. Sometimes we do retainers for clients so that they have easy access and preferred access to us. But the four main costs are domain name, website hosting, website development, and then site maintenance. So let's talk more about each of those. A domain name. In fact, we have a video podcast on tips on how to select a good domain name. You might want to watch that. But domain names generally run $100 for 5 years. 5 years. Sometimes, and that's for Network Solutions, which is our main domain name registration company. Sometimes we use GoDaddy. They're a little cheaper. They don't, at least at the time of this podcast, they don't seem to update their name servers as quickly as Network Solutions. They're still a fine company and a fine registration. Those are the only two that we recommend: GoDaddy and Network Solutions. So figure $100. That'll keep you good for 5 years using that domain name. So it works out to $20 a year, but you pay it all at once. Okay? So $100 equals 5 years of your right to use www.whatever.com, your domain name. You can go right to networksolutions.com or godaddy.com and look around for good domain names. You can call us for advice. You can watch our podcast for advice. So that covers the first cost. The next cost is website hosting. Your website files need to live on a server, need to reside on a web server somewhere, a robust computer with plenty of RAM that has a good solid connection, sometimes two connections to the internet, that is available 24/7, that is maintained properly, that is upgraded when upgrades come out, updated when service packs come out and such. It's a very important piece of equipment. We don't host websites in our office. You shouldn't host websites in your office. There are too many things that can go wrong. So what we do is we rent space at a web hosting center. We work with a number of web hosts. We have a lot of websites hosted in Texas. We have some in Indiana. So we match the web host companies that we know and have worked with for years with the needs of the client, and we put you on a good website hosting platform. Our costs currently are $20 per month for most clients. If you have a database, it can, depending on the database, it can be an extra $5 or $10 a month. If you have e-commerce, that's means you need a secure certificate to encrypt, to guarantee the encryption of the e-commerce pages. So that's an extra $10 a month. So We have e-commerce websites that are up in the $50 to $60 per month range. But that's website hosting. That's a monthly cost. So you had the domain name, which is a yearly or every 5-year cost. Now we've covered the website hosting cost. That's a monthly cost. Now we get to the web development portion of it, which can really vary widely in range. It can be from a couple $100, $300 to, I think our largest web development project so far was almost $200,000. Now that was a very involved project. It had, I think, $40,000 worth of hardware involved, and we brought in some external consultants for some programming. It was a huge project. That is not typical by any means. Our typical web projects are in the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 range to $10,000. In the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 ranges, you're looking at basic web packages, website packages, 5 to 10 pages, contact forms. It depends on how much custom graphics you want. If you want all custom graphics, the cost will be a little bit more because our graphic designer will spend more time on your project. If you want to go with a template that someone else has already done, we can help identify that. Put your logo on it, customize the colors. Cost is on the lower end. If you want to put in the content yourself, because we build most of our web projects on content management systems now, which allow our clients to add content right through your web browser with a username and password. And those are really getting popular. You're on the lower end. If you want us to do put all of the content in, then you're on the higher end. Most web projects, the client generates the text copy. So that's website development costs. $2,000 to $5,000 for basic websites, up to $10,000 for e-commerce websites. Again, depends on how many products you have. It depends on are you going to enter the products? Do you have a database export that we can pop in there and quickly do it, quickly upload your product tables, or we're going to do them by hand. And we keep track of our time with QuickBooks timers, and then we bill by the hour, or charge by the hour. So it's just a matter of how many hours you want our team to spend on your website. So the important thing is that we're here to work with you with your needs and your budget now and into the future. And then support and maintenance. Again, it's just how much time. Most of our websites that we build now, the client can actually update it themselves if they want. But our team is also available. You can just email us, use our help desk, email us, and we'll make the updates for you. So those are the 4 main costs: domain names, website hosting, development costs, and then maintenance costs. There are also the options for internet advertising, Google Ads, AdSense, AdWords, Facebook ads. We place those also. We write radio commercials, so we can help you advertise your website. And we can also do search engine optimization to help you get your website listed high and higher in the rankings for your chosen search terms. So those are some optional costs. I hope you found this helpful, and you can find more at our website, KolbNetworks.com. Thanks.